Hello, element of ether. This is your general reading. Welcome to Time with Tea. The element of ether, Ophiuchus, is between November 29th and December 17th. It is the 13th zodiac from the ancient calendar before the Gregorian calendar. So we are going to go back to that which works and we know, and we used to have 13 months. And Ophiuchus is still up there in the sky, is still a zodiac. So let's just dive in. I'm going to get the cards ready and we'll get going. This is the Egyptian Tarot deck. It will tell the overall energy for Ophiuchus. A lot of people get upset about Ophiuchus because it changes their placement. It changed mine too. So it is what it is, though. I'd rather live in truth. It is in the Mayan calendar. It's in the Ethiopian calendar. It's ancient. It is a real thing. Colonizers came, and Romans and Greeks, and they all, as they plummeted and ran through countries, they changed things, and we are not in our natural circadian rhythm. And ether is an element, and ether is in the placements. So let's go. Divine Mother, Divine Energy, Divine Truth. This is a general reading for the element of ether. What do they need to know? Temperance. And that's crazy because ether is known as a transformative energy, balancing energy. Is that the only card? One more. Okay, I thought I saw something. Just had to put a little, razzle dazzle on it to the full. So this is interesting. All the other cards had a divine matriarchal card. Ether doesn't. So we're not focused on that energy. We are focused on the energy of balance, focused on the energy of taking a risk, but in the sense of there's something in your field, your energy, your cipher that you're supposed to be doing, that you're supposed to be taking a step towards or an action towards, and you haven't done it. And what you need to understand is that once you do that thing, that is when whatever you're needing or creating, manifesting, whatever that is, that's when that's going to happen. But it's another reading where it was mentioned divine. There was a download about kinetic and potential energy. Look that up, potential energy versus kinetic energy, or how potential energy becomes kinetic energy and what kinetic energy is if you're not aware. And enlighten yourself with that, because you definitely are have authority and power, but there's something you're not doing, right? Like, you can't get something from nothing, and you don't just sit and wait. You have to continue to move in life as if you don't even know the outcome. You feel something's for you. Within yourself, you're saying, I'm creating this for myself, but you don't stop life and wait for it. You continue. We're here to live and experience. We're here to create more than just one or two things. And something could be further out in the ethers, what you're thinking of, and then other things could be closer and ready to come in, and there's nothing. So the balance And the inspiration comes from you as the Fool card taking that leap of faith, okay? Um, Temperance is about healing, um, as far as not like the Star card, but which could really signify something being wrong too. But temperance is about fixing something, and you have to take a leap of faith. You have to take an action. You have to do something. It might be feel like a risk, and that's a main character of that card, but you're supposed to be doing it. Um, I am going to pull romance because every element before I sat, was like, you will be pulling a romance card. So I'm going to do that. And it hasn't all been romantic. It's been related not to non-intimate relationships and intimate. But let's see what yours are. Okay. I can see y'all. Healing family issues and past life relationships. Ooh, that is awesome for ether because y'all everywhere. There's nothing that ether doesn't touch, okay? Ether is like air, it's energy. Um, it's the hand that holds it all together. Healing family issues. So Divine wants to be very clear. That is not related to going back to unhealthy situations. It's not about going back to toxic situations, but some of y'all on your journey have gotten so sure of your peace. You felt your peace, and you know you're not going to sacrifice it. And there may be some instances where someone was not abusive, but maybe they were rude. They weren't assaultive or aggressive, but maybe they told you a lie. But there's not a pattern of your whole life, this person with a family title disrespecting or mistreating you, and you've cut them off too. And so that's that temperance too, that balancing it out. You need to sit with yourself and ask yourself if you're being a little too rough about, too serious or too hard with them about it, okay? Um, let's get to the tarot. Praises. I knew this card was going to be on the bottom. I don't know how this works. It's amazing. I don't need the cards to read. They just help co-sign what I feel, hear, see, the downloads. But someone's not happy. They're losing sleep over things. There's someone that doesn't deserve what's happening. Remember I mentioned the star earlier. So you have the King of Wands to the star to the Ten of Wands. So this message is, so first of all, qualities. King of Wands is someone that is very direct, a boss, someone in charge, a leader, someone that can can get someone on path, that sees the path and can map things out and get to what needs to be got to, right? But you sitting here not able to do it for right now, right? So we got to fix that. To the star card, something unhealthy. You're trying to remove yourself from unhealthy things. You have worked hard to release things that hurt you, that do not serve you. You have boundaries. You don't play no games, right? But with all that being, and the star card is about wish fulfillment, right? Like, but with all that being said, Ether, have you made mistakes? Have you been rude? Have you told a lie, a little fib? Have you done something that maybe isn't considered honorable or respectful? Um, and if so, consider that. I mentioned too the water elements, they're going through the dark night of the soul. And Divine mentioned through the message that like no one's perfect, right? We all make mistakes, but ego can get in the way. And I mentioned that personally, I have gone through a few dark nights of the soul. Like it's not a one and done. And that's how you have to approach life and navigating life. Life piles things on, these energies pile things on, these entities with these energies pile things on, and we react, respond, whatever. And we may have to reevaluate ourselves. Like, we may have to say, whoa, that was like, that really triggered me. And, you know, while we're accepting ourselves as flawed and accepting ourselves as learning and making a way and navigating this, you have to also offer others that same humility. Not everyone deserves the cutoff or the no contact. Um, y'all have had some really toxic people that meant you no good in your life, and they were called family. And I am very impressed that you have made the decision to not honor their title, but honor character. And their character is zero. And you have made decisions to say, I don't have to have you in my life. Blood ties don't mean that we are similar or we have to be grouped together. My character, my integrity dictates that I can, and my love for self dictates I cannot allow you in my space. Now that's valid, but you're doing that for every little thing that's happening, and you're being called to stop doing that. Okay? Stop. So the word family too can apply to friends because you could have made your own family group and left the blood ties alone and created your own familial group, and you're cutting people off. Um, this past life relationship card here in the romance deck, which it's not all romance. Let me say that again. Understand that this is someone that you have that it's so we're all connected, but there's like picture groups and then smaller groups and then smaller groups and then smaller groups. This is one of those groups where um, you and this person have you share an etherical connection, and even if it's not romantic in this life, your support for each other. They are not toxic. They made a mistake. And this is teaching you how emotional maturity. It's teaching you communication. It's okay to have a conversation and tell someone how they affected you, but you just cutting people the fuck off. And Divine is saying, hold on, baby. Hold on. Let's see. Yep. Okay. Yeah. All right. Here we go. So this is them wanting to come in toward you. They want to talk about this. They want things to be back where they were. They are afraid that it can't be mended or that you'll hold some sort of resentment and it'll never be wholesome again. You need to know that. And you need to go towards them. It doesn't need to be one sided, it should be reciprocal. Um, this is travel. This is the distance between you two that needs to close up. Judgment is here. Divine says so. Divine says, look, you ain't better than nobody, and nobody's better than you. And people make mistakes just like you, and it's time to get this together. Judgment signifies divorce. It signifies a breakup. It signifies things not being together. And so it's time for you to take steps to change that, to work on that. Okay. And again, this is not someone disrespectful or harmful to you. They will not do those things to you. Okay. Divine said to say this, even if it's a matter of they said something behind your back and you felt like they're fake or you have to sit and ask yourself, have they been, is this who you know, or is this the first time and only time it's happened? And you have to ask yourself if what they said was true and you just don't like that it was said. You want them to honor you and act like you are perfect and arrived no matter what. And that's something for you to work on because you want people in your life to be transparent with you. Hold me accountable. Okay? So that's what I have. Let me get you some self care. Aromatherapy and soaking a bath. Yeah, just go on and release it. Let the aroma fill the air with peace and calm. Reset, change the mood. Take an herbal bath and cleanse your avatar because it's getting a little egoic. Cleanse it out and do what you need to do. Let me get your earth magic. Karma. Oop, you don't want that. That's that judgment card. You don't want it to come back. You don't want to have to start learning lessons and struggling because you're being stubborn. Volatility. This is a volatile situation. This is sensitive. This is a lesson. This is a milestone in life. And another, it doesn't have to be a dark night, but it does need to be a reflective moment where you check yourself. You know, everybody ain't out to get you. Everything ain't bad just because you disagree with it. Okay? Uh, okay. Abundance and nature are your numerology. Intuition, this is going to strengthen you and help you with your wisdom and being wiser and, you know, the leader that you are to transform, help others transform. And then domestic harmony. This needs to happen. You and this person with y'all past life and y'all connection, you're meant to work this out. Again, disclaimer. It is not an abusive person. They are not verbally, physically, none of that. They are not someone that mistreats you, disrespects you. It is not the case. This is not saying go back to your mom and daddy, cousin, brother, auntie, grandma that treated you like shit. This is not what that is. This is about someone that made one mistake. A mistake. Okay? Okay. Peace.